All right, 1, 2, and 3, go. Hello everyone, and welcome. I am redoing my Stormblooper video, because now we have the Stormblooper 2.0. And let's be honest, the first one kind of sucked. I just did it really quickly. So if you have the 1.0, which is the one that looks kind of fat like this, and kind of made it a little slimmer like that. The original one is super fat. I mean, we're talking, this is Lizzo here. This one was designed to have a real buffer tube being put in there, but after our first few trials, didn't really need it, so no reason to put an extra part in this thing. Real quick, this is not the exact 2.0 which is available right now. There's been a couple little modifications into it. I'm going to be replacing the 20 millimeter that's here with like a 14 millimeter, just because the spring doesn't exactly match up with that. So sorry about that. If you want to, you can drill a little bit, and then you got to cut the screw. So anyway, let's go to some issues that we've been kind of having with it, or you might be having. Basically, the issues are all going to be inside of this piece. There is an extra little piece that goes inside of here. I just said use a little piece of rubber, at least a hard rubber, just to kind of protect this area, or the back area. I'm going to take it apart in a second. I actually 3D printed, as you can tell. This is silk. This is silk PLA, which you probably shouldn't be printing this in, but I wanted to test it in silk to see if it worked. And this went through about 100 rounds of 9 millimeter. So, I mean, if you know anything about buffer systems, 9 millimeter is actually pretty abusive. Can be actually more abusive than 223. But let's take a look inside and let's see what happened. So, all right, well, that was fun. Sorry about the number of screws there. I wanted to make this compatible with Ender 3s and smaller printers. I do have an Ender 5 Plus, so that's kind of a fun little thing. All right, let's see about... This is the extra piece that, I mean, in future versions, ooh, look at that. Look at that, that just got a little crushed by the buffer there. Yeah, so evidently this part in silk is probably not going to last. If you're going to print it, I will make an accessory pack to redo this brace. You know, because, you know, it'll be a drop style sling for the Boba Fett style kind of grip. But that's another story. But more or less, the purpose of this piece was to basically make a sacrificial piece. So you didn't abuse this piece. And even if this piece broke, you could replace this. But this is probably going to be easier to print or replace than this. Besides that, other notable things, I did use KE Arms, their hammer pins in both positions, which I guess is kind of an inconvenience. I could probably have gotten by with just the regular trigger pin, but I decided just to be a little over-engineered there. Obviously, this is a KE Arms safety, so you can pull it out without removing this. Because if it's a regular safety, you got to pull this out, pull out or unscrew that, and then you kind of fish the spring down and plunger, and then you can pull that out. Also, if you're using a standard plunger, you got to kind of file off the little bottom of that little plunger there. Sorry, I'm been a little all over the place when I'm talking about this. I did not script this, so here I am. And obviously, if you've downloaded the directions, you know which pins from the master card to use, because these are obviously not standard pins and they are not captured. So that's kind of where we are. You can see this little reinforcement right here. This seems to work. The only issue is though that you cannot use a standard, or I guess kind of a standard front end. You got to use a skinny front end. In newer versions, I kind of widen this out a little bit. So for the Stormblooper 3.0, it'll be a little bit better, so some of you won't have to be filing those off. Sorry about that. This leads to the other thing. If you have any comments, design features you would like incorporated, leave me a comment. Oh, anyway, real quick, the origins of this was though that I had made a back grip for my VP9, designed this up, because I have very little oils in my hands, so my hands aren't really sticky. So I decided to make a grip for my AR, and it ended up being kind of easier just to make a hole lower as opposed to a new grip that would fit on. If those of you know how a standard AR looks, there's that little back piece or back indexing piece that's right there. And I really needed that to be forward to make that like a little smaller grip, so you can kind of knuckle grip this. And so in the end it was just easier because I'd have to machine that out for a standard AR lower, and that just seemed like a lot of work as opposed to just making a new lower. Anyway, if you're printing this on an Ender 3, let me know how it works out, because I know it has to kind of cut right here, and then you got to put, I suppose you don't even need this extra piece, you could just bolt it right on there. I think it'll work, but if you want belts and suspenders, you can glue this piece on. Also, hopefully in future versions, I'll make a rifle stock as opposed to like this little pistol brace here. This was designed to be a pistol brace, so if you do shoulder it from the bottom here, it'll probably break off. So hopefully that's ATF compliant. I don't know. I'm sure they'll be around to shoot your dog if it's not. So this was incredibly long-winded. Just so you know, Silk PLA seems to, I mean, I'm hoping this means I made a good design, because it worked in Silk PLA, obviously, except for this piece, except this piece was always supposed to be like a urethane. That's it. Leave a comment. Thank you for watching this incredibly boring video. Usually my other videos are a little more funny and exciting. Anyway, have yourself a good day.